Members of Metro Vancouver's regional park staff are meeting with firefighters in Delta to discuss a common concern.
Thanks again for inviting us here today and letting us kind of see what kind of training you guys do.
Fire in Burns Bog is a very real threat, having happened many times before. As recently as 2005, as seen in this amateur video. Peat, once used around the world as a heating and cooking fuel, provides the perfect methane-rich environment for a fire to burn underground.
There's two different types of fires that you run into in the bog too. There's so much peat in there, you can get a peat fire in there that burns very deep. And so it'll all of a sudden, it'll burn into the ground and it'll pop up 30, 40 feet away from you. So it's very dangerous that way. But also there's a lot of trees in the bog too. And so then it turns into more of a wildland fire.
So what happens is if we get called on a fire to support, say Delta for instance, we'll bring this trailer along with us. It's geared to help about 6 firefighters.
Metro Vancouver works closely with the Delta Fire Department to make sure that if a fire starts, it is fought with a united approach. Fires in the bog can burn for weeks and have serious ecological consequences.
The 2005 fire that we experienced on the east edge of the bog was very intense, and it actually burned about a meter of the peat, which was a significant portion of the growing section. The pine trees that are here have cones that release their seeds after a fire. And what happened was, after that fire, the seeds were released, and now we have incredibly dense populations of pine trees and birch trees on site, which are hindering the ecological health of the bog.
I have an initial attack kit right here.
Metro Vancouver staff have a truck that carries equipment for first response, including pumps and lengths of hose.
We call it the bog box, and so we have all the different tools and appliances in here.
Delta Fire has 2 small all-terrain vehicles that can get into the often treacherous access trails into the bog. Pumps can be used to get water out of ditches and pits and onto the fire. Water can also be fed into sprinklers to spray onto the ground and keep the fire from spreading. And the fire can be tackled from the air as well. Delta's latest piece of firefighting technology is called the Rage. It has onboard water storage that it can unleash onto a fire without any firefighter ever having to leave the cab of the truck. It's not yet been tested on a bog fire, but Delta firefighters have no doubt that it's just a matter of time. From the air, the damage caused by the 2005 fire is obvious. But losing trees in the bog is not necessarily a bad thing.
One positive aspect of a fire would be the removal of the forest canopy, which is preventing the bog from functioning as it should under normal conditions.
Many members of the Delta Fire crew grew up in the area. For them, a fire in the bog hits close to home.
Well, I've grown up in Delta and grew up right alongside the bog, probably well over 45 years of my life. So I've spent lots of time in the bog personally as a kid. It means a lot, for sure.